Welcome back, Luxurious Fleet. Subaru has finally given us an official teaser of the upcoming BRZ. And in today's video, we'll break down what little information we have on the next Subaru BRZ and Toyota 86 twins. Well, the upcoming Genesis GV70 has been spied again, possibly as a hybrid. We'll also dig into Nissan's abysmal sales numbers to see if we can find some silver linings in there. Over at Motor One 2022, Subaru BRZ Teased debuts this fall. That's exciting news. We've been waiting for it. We know it's been canceled. At least the production of the first generation has been canceled, and now the next generation is upon us. Getting into the teaser image here. Well, the gills, we've seen the gills in a lot of spy shots already. I love this blue camo. It's probably not Tiger, but you guys know this looks like camouflage that we see like in Call of Duty and things like that. But these wheels, guys, these wheels are taken from the GR Yaris, the exact same wheels. I'll put that other picture for you guys to see. What about these gills? Well, this bottom one here is not functional whatsoever, but the top two definitely are to allow air to pass through for either aerodynamics, which is more than likely what it is, or brake cooling, which it might be a little bit of both. Now there's an update here, so what's this update? The update says a more revealing teaser image has emerged. Okay, this is from Subaru Dwayne's Instagram. So he was at a special event. Well, how do I know this is I went to his Instagram page, and this right here says he's going to Subi Fest. October 4th, it's a world record attempt. So I went over to the Subaru page. They were testing, or they're attempting, I should say, a Guinness World Record here for the largest parade of same-make vehicles. So they were having 2,000 Subaru vehicles to participate in this parade. So pretty cool, I guess. Very unique. A good way for owners of Subarus to participate in a fun Subaru cult event, you know. At that partaking of this world record at the 2020 Subaru Technica International Subi Fest, that is where this image was taken from. Credit to Subaru Dwayne. Looking at the picture, a more pronounced look of the gills for sure. And from the side, almost reminds me of the old Hyundai Tiburon. But looking at the door crease, guys, the door crease is identical to the current generation, or I should say the door line. The rear window here has been modified. It's a little bit more sharper, angled up. But the rest of the car's dimensions look identical to the current cars. So just a major refresh, probably reworking the suspension, putting that larger engine in there, the 2.4 liter boxer engine replacing the 2 liter, supposedly getting not a whole lot more horsepower, 10-15 more horsepower, and maybe about 20 more pound-feet of torque compared to the first generation. Of course, we're gonna have the 6-speed manual, and that's supposed to be the same 6-speed manual, which I wasn't the biggest fan of when I reviewed my Toyota 86 Hakone edition. Love the car, love the design and the looks and the paint color of that car, and the wheels, the bronze, everything was really cool. But the Hakone edition, if it's the same manual transmission, I hope they're able to tune it, make it a little bit more user-friendly. I just didn't get along with it that well. I got used to it for sure, but it wasn't my favorite. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see a turbo version of this, maybe an STI or a let's say a GR version of this BRZ 86? Fingers crossed, right? But again, that's going to be encroaching on the turbo 4-cylinder, the Supra 2.0. Hey guys, make sure to smash that like button, you know, the YouTube algorithm. And if you don't want to miss breaking news on the BRZ and Toyota 86 and its official unveil this fall, fingers crossed, make sure you're subscribed and the notification bell is turned on. Over at Motor One, GV70 spied up close in Korea in new video, and we already saw the concept images of it, or I should say the prototype images that Genesis already unveiled to us. Now it's very interesting underneath, they're able to get underneath the cars when they came to a stop here. I'm thinking this is a hybrid because if we go back just a little bit in the video, we see, well, cars parking sensors here, but there's no exhaust, visible exhaust tips. There's definitely one underneath this car. But if we go back just a little bit further, right here, we get a spy shot of an additional one here to the left. And maybe this one over to the left isn't even a GV70, but that would be my guess. But the taillights are definitely differently camouflaged here. So we'll see, but this has the quad tip exhaust. This has no exhaust showing. There's definitely one underneath as we'll take another look at this, and we can see the muffler here with the exhaust pipe coming out to the right hand side. So with this image that we have, it's definitely, remember this is a rear wheel drive based vehicle, just like the GV80 is. We don't see a drive shaft, but we see a differential possibly back here and a single exhaust tip. So the single exhaust tip is telling me that it's going to be a hybrid, but I could be wrong. I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say. Fingers crossed it's even a plug-in hybrid. That would give the upcoming NX 450h Plus a run for its money, and I'm really excited for this GV70 to enter the market and to challenge the existing powers that be. Sticking with some Korean news, over at CarBuzz, Hyundai's popular Kona EV faces uncertain future. According to Autocar, Hyundai may drop the electric variants of current models, which also offer a combustion engine counterpart. Of course, the Kona is on that list, and it's because the new Ioniq sub-brand is going to be fully dedicated to all electric vehicles. That makes sense. It would reduce their cost if they're just able to have, I think it's their GMP, eGMP or something like that platform that is fully electrified, and they'll be able to reduce costs overall by having a dedicated EV skateboard, similar to, of course, most other electric manufacturers out there. Hyundai's global production boss, Lawrence Glab, that sort of direction is possible, but the time being for the Kona EV will still be around and run in parallel to the Ioniq models. So I don't think many of us will be heartbroken to see that the Kona EV is more likely going to be canceled and replaced by better electric vehicles that are dedicated to electrification from the get-go. I think we're okay with that sort of progress. Over at Motor Trend, Genesis CEO implies a new generation of G80 Sport, and it's likely to happen. The G80 Sport is this image right here. I actually drove one of these and test drove it. It had the 3.3 turbo with 365 horsepower. In a lot of ways, I feel like that sort of engine should have been in the Lexus GS, but that car got canceled. And this car is kind of a direct competitor to the former GS. And I really enjoyed driving this G80, and I look forward to the next generation of G80. And if we're getting a sport model, all the better. Now, we don't know if it's going to have additional horsepower. We know it's going to have the 3.5 liter turbo with about 375 horsepower minimum and 390 or so pound-feet of torque. They could overboost it, and we could be getting over 400 horsepower. So I'm really excited to see the new G80, the whole entire Genesis lineup. It's just that with the recent sales numbers, they are doing awful here in the United States. They need to get their dealerships, I feel like they need to get their dealerships sorted out before they can be a power and a real force to be reckoned with against the other luxury brands. And speaking of sales numbers, Nissan Group reports third quarter 2020 sales. Now, I did talk about sales in a previous video this week, but I really wanted to talk about Nissan, because that was a takeaway of that sales video, is that, oh shoot, Nissan is doing worse than everybody else. And we know they have been struggling for a while. So I wanted to dive into this to see if we can find some interesting takeaways from it. Third quarter down 32% overall from last year. Infiniti sales down a little bit less, but still abysmal. Calendar to date, guys, this is a crazy thing, 37% down year to date. Now, of course, we know COVID is happening, but I wanted to take a look at Honda just kind of as a bar setter for sales here. If we look at American Honda for the quarter, they were only down a total of 9.5%, while Nissan was down about 30%. If we look at the total for American Honda for the year, they're down about 18 and 19% on the year, whereas Nissan is down about 37% on the year. So they're not bouncing back from COVID like a lot of the other brands are, especially Toyota and Honda, even Subaru for that matter. And their yearly sales are much more in the tank compared to the rest. So I wanted to go over if we can find some highlights in here. If we look at the 370Z, it's kind of the last couple of years of production for the model. Now, they only sold about 500 units, but it's down 15%. If we look at the GTR, it's up 14% on the quarter. If we look at year to date though, looking at the grand scheme of things, the 370Z is only down 1.8%, where the GTR is down about 12%. They need to figure out what they're going to do with their sedans. Most of these manufacturers who still sell tons of sedans are just getting beat up because of the terrible sales. The Maxima, I feel like the Maxima just needs to be axed or replaced with a full electric model. The Altima here, last year they sold 160,000, and then this year is under 100,000, so it's down about 40% for the Altima. Sentra still selling a ton of vehicles. I feel like they just need to get rid of the Versa. I know they've been giving it some attention lately, but that segment just doesn't do well. And it is a large amount of volume, but they can just push those people. If they have some sort of base Sentra, they can push those people into the Sentra, just like Toyota did. They got rid of the Yaris, and the entry level is the Corolla. So I feel like Nissan needs to do something like that in order just to save some sort of, I guess, future for the company, for their sedans anyways, and cancel the Maxima as well. That car is just tanking more than most of their other sedans here. The Leaf is a joke. They really need to figure out what they're going to do with the Leaf, and electrification is important to the brand, but this car just cannot keep up with the Teslas, and a lot of the Bolts are better in a lot of ways than the Nissan Leaf as well. So the thing's old, needs to be replaced with cutting edge technology, but really they're focusing on the Aria in the future for electrification. Now the total cars, when you add it all up, down about 46% year to date. Yikes. Now looking at the SUVs and trucks, Nissan Kicks is doing okay. Single digits here is a highlight for the brand. Murano doing okay as well. The Rogue down massively, but you got to remember something to look forward to is going to be the redesigned Rogue, which is in production right now. So that is, hopefully that will start saving the model right there. Maybe get it to some positive numbers next year. Armada, I'm not too worried about that because the sales are low to begin with. I like the Armada, I like the V8 in it. Pathfinder is going to be getting a redesign, I believe, sometime next year. Fingers crossed, they really need to have it. Infiniti needs to have the new QX60, as we'll find out here in a second. Titan not doing well. The Frontier getting walloped. Frontier getting smacked in the face. Luckily, they have a new Frontier coming out probably by Q1 of 2021. So that should help save the Frontier, give it some longevity back into its bloodline. I don't know why they included the Nissan Quest in this. Just remove it from the spreadsheet, guys. You're not bringing it back, are you? Yeah. Looking at the total trucks, down 31%, and that's not very good. Not very good at all. If we look at Honda's overall trucks for the year to date, they're down 13.6% compared to Nissan's 31%. So Nissan's doing twice as poorly as Acura and Honda over there. Looking at Infiniti real quick, guys. Infiniti down a massive 32% current year to date, and they did not have a good quarter either. Still down 30% on the quarter. Now, if we look at the sedans, it's really, really sad to see. Down 39%, not good. Q50 getting crushed. Q60 getting crushed. Q70's end of line, so it doesn't matter. So they really only have two cars and just getting wrecked. They need to be redesigned as soon as possible because those models are getting really, really long in the tooth, even though they still look good. I saw Q50 yesterday on my walk with my kiddos, and holy cow, it still looks like a really, really classy, good sedan, but it needs to be updated. It needs to have some freshness to it. I like the powertrains on it though. QX30's dead, end of line. QX50, the one positive vehicle I feel like year to date out of all of the Nissan products here stateside. I don't see anything else. The only thing close would be the 370Z. So that is incredible that the QX50, still only selling less than 15,000 units per year. And you can see the QX60 is outselling the QX50, but it's still down about 45% on the year. They need to have that QX60 monograph design pushed into production as soon as possible. But the reality of it, guys, is we're probably not going to see it until fall of 2021. And there is a QX55 coming out probably next summer, maybe next fall. It keeps getting pushed back. I don't think that's going to interject a whole lot of sales into the Infiniti lineup, sadly. QX70, again, why even put it in here? I guess they sold 6 units last year, but guys, just cancel the QX70 out of your spreadsheet. QX80, again, kind of like the Armada. What's interesting here, look at the QX80 sales, 11,000 sales for the QX80. If we look at the Armada, not that many more sales, about 6,000 more sales for the lesser quality, lesser priced vehicle. So QX80 is one of my favorite Infinitis in the lineup. I think the QX50 looks are incredible, and it's good to see that something. The one takeaway from all this is that QX50 is carrying the Infiniti brand right now, but still, it is behind the QX60 in total sales, and that's why the importance of the QX60 is so important. I don't know what else to say. They need to have that new one out because that is their bread and butter, and they're just getting crushed. They're losing customers because the QX60 is dying compared to its competitors out there. So yeah, guys, but I can't wait to see you in the comments about these sales. What do you think? I mean, if Nissan can't keep this up, we know that. If Nissan goes at this rate for another year, I don't know what's going to happen. They might, I just don't know. I don't know. But Subaru with the teaser on the BRZ, we're looking forward to that. I did reach out to Toyota. I'm like, hey, you know, they're teasing it. What are you guys going to do? And all he said was stay tuned. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel as well, because I will be hearing from Toyota on the next 86 as soon as they're ready to share it, essentially. And then GV70 hybrid, who knows? It looks like it's a hybrid, but I'll see you guys in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. Press the like button if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like I said, Acura RDX A-Spec coming to my front door today for me to review, and I can't wait to bring you my impressions. And I just had a ton of fun reviewing the CHR. I know it's not a fan favorite by any means, but I enjoyed the heck out of driving that car around for a week and just filming it. So it's a fun, spunky little car. Funky, spunky. Spunky, funky, fresh. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit the like button if you haven't. Don't do it too many times because it dislikes the video. I'll see you guys next video. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.